Israeli forces have struck yet another UN-run school in Gaza, leaving at least 3 people dead and 15 injured. That's according to both the IDF and Hamas. Israeli forces say the terror group was operating on the grounds of that school. 3 munitions experts now tell ABC News that a weapon that Israel used in yesterday's deadly airstrike on a UN school in Gaza appears to have been made in America. And as these strikes continue to unfold, U.S. military officials say that the pier that they built to allow more aid into Gaza has been reconnected to the beach nearly 2 weeks after heavy storms badly damaged it. Our senior Pentagon reporter Louis Martinez joins me now. So, Louis, we've already confirmed that U.S. weapons were used in at least 2 Israeli airstrikes, that refugee camp and another UN school. Now we have this additional school that's been bombed. What more are we learning?
Kira, we know that this was a UN-affiliated school under UNRWA. That's the agency that had responsibility for humanitarian assistance inside of Gaza prior to the war starting last fall. What we hear from the Israeli Defense Forces is that they were targeting a container that was being used by Hamas as an operations coordination cell. They said that there were many precautions undertaken to prevent civilian casualties. They said that the facility was under much monitoring prior to this strike that was carried out earlier today, and that it was undertaken with precision weaponry. Now, these are all things that the United States has been urging Israel to do, but what we've seen over these last 2 incidents that you listed, there have been additional casualties that have resulted from it. Now, it appears while that one that struck the refugee center, it targeted a precise area where these 2 Hamas operatives were being targeted, it appears that there was a secondary explosion that caused the majority of those fatalities and injuries in that incident. But again, that's still under investigation, and it's still unclear what exactly happened there. So again, once again, the United States pressuring Israel to do this and using precise weaponry, but as we can see, sometimes it doesn't carry that intended result.
Yeah. And now to the pier right there off the coast of Gaza. It's been a multi-million-dollar mess. Now we hear that come Monday, we should expect to see more deliveries rolling off that pier. Will it happen? And are they finally going to get this right, Louis?
Well, the reason why the pier was detached initially and why it was damaged was because of rough seas from an unforeseen storm off the coast of Africa. That led to high sea states that essentially disrupted and broke off portions of the pier. They took a lot of time to fix it. It took about an extra week to do this and bring it back at a time when the sea state was actually calm enough to do so. But they feel that in coming days they're going to be able to, again, push off hundreds of metric tons a day, which they say they're going to try to ramp up to about 500,000 meals per day that could get into Gaza. The situation right now being very dire inside of Gaza because there are only 2 other land routes and very small numbers of trucks are going into Gaza right now. And so with the pier up and running again, the expectation is that more aid is going to flow in. And one update on the cost that you mentioned, it was anticipated that it was going to cost $320 million over 3 months to operate the pier. Now we're understanding that because of some cost savings that were not as, and another cost that were not as high as were anticipated, that it's actually going to come in under budget, so it's actually going to be about $200 million. Still a lot of money, but you can expect something like that when it's a very complicated system like this JLATS is.
Yeah, it sure is. We'll continue to follow it for sure, and hopefully that aid gets in there and starts making a difference. Louis, thank you.